Hello and welcome everyone back to the Hold for Hold Pro Wrestling channel. Today is a very special day. It is the WWE Draft Night 1, baby. If you didn't already see my predictions video, feel free to check that out before this. It could be a little interesting to see which way I thought they were going to go and which way they actually went. So maybe I'll put a card like somewhere around here, just, fancy YouTube magic. But anyways, guys, tonight was the draft. It was a good show. We had some surprising picks, to say the least, and I'm going to get into all those picks here in a second. But first, I'm going to need y'all to look around that little browser of yours and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Make sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Hold for Hold. And we are filming this live on Twitch, and by we I mean me and you here on the Twitch, so make sure to give that a follow as well at Hold for Hold here on Twitch. So twitch.tv/Hold for Hold. But anyways, that's enough plugs. Because we had a big night tonight. Let's explain the draft rules real quick so we're all on the same page as we go through with this. Half of the roster was up for grabs tonight, and the other half of that roster will be made up for grabs next week on Monday Night Raw. Whoever doesn't get drafted will be a free agent, which I'm curious to see how that's going to work. And then the decisions the draft picks were made by WWE and network executives, according to WWE tonight. So who knows how much of that is true. It seems like it would be the case, though. The draft changes will also go into effect starting October 22nd, so the night after the Crown Jewel pay-per-view. I saw a lot of people getting a little upset about that, it not being an immediate shakeup, To me, I don't necessarily mind the concept of giving a couple weeks to wrap up storylines, because you have Edge and Seth Rollins. They're still in a storyline, so they need that time to really let that end, which I guess is going to end on Crown Jewel. I'm really disappointed in that, because I will not be watching Crown Jewel. I'm not watching a Saudi Arabia pay-per-view. I know it's stacked. We'll probably discuss the results on the Monday following it, but I'm not going to be watching that. Feel free to watch it if that's your cup of tea. I'm not watching it. I know there's going to be a ton of charity streams during that time, so maybe I'll hop into one of those, just hang out there for the time being. But anyways, you guys, those were the rules, so let's get on with the first round. They immediately started the show. Sonya Deville and Adam Pearce come out, announced the first 4 draft picks. And number 1 draft pick, this is the wisest decision all night. Roman Reigns stays on SmackDown. Tribal Chief ain't going nowhere. Big E is still on Raw. Charlotte Flair, the first surprise of the night. She, the Raw Women's Champion, has been drafted to SmackDown. It really just felt like a surprise for surprise sake. Not the biggest fan of this move. And speaking of which, Bianca Belair is moving to Raw as well. So 2 big surprises there in the women's division. A big shakeup that I'm hoping pays off. I really do. And I don't want to just see Becky 2 belts again. I guess I'd be fine with it. because then we have a unified women's champion, and then she'll go both brands, and you can't get enough Becky. I'll firmly say that. So there is hope that they're going to do something creative with this. It's just weird that they would do that, and then we have Survivor Series coming up. So are they going to have the unification match there? I don't know. It's a little weird. I guess I'm fine with it for now, especially with how the night ended. Once I saw Charlotte Flair in the ring with Sasha Banks, Bianca, and Becky on the outside, I was like, man, they're winning me over, because this is a cool image to see. So I guess I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. We'll see in the next coming weeks how that is all going to turn out. Hopefully they have something planned to either have a unification, or maybe even just vacate the Raw title and have a tournament, which I think could always be really fun. But anyways, you guys, that was the first round picks. Pretty big. Following that, we get the number 1 draft pick. Roman Reigns comes down to the ring. He has his long entrance, magnificent entrance. He comes down. He starts by introducing himself as the number 1 draft pick. He says, as the back of the shirt says, We the ones, because I'm number one. Oh, I loved it. Absolutely loved it. He gets huge cheers here in Baltimore. This is the most I've seen people openly acknowledge him. And he tells the crowd to acknowledge him as their tribal chief. And the crowd is loud for this segment. Paul gets on the mic, first tells them that wasn't loud enough, which I really like that touch. And you could just tell that Roman is just too over to contain at this point. Paul has a great promo here, so I'm going to read a little bit verbatim. He says, the demon came up against an exorcist named Roman Reigns. He says that Roman is like a shark, just constantly looking forward, and he's looking forward to Brock Lesnar. He says the beast will come up against the suplexorcist, that is Roman Reigns, and Roman Reigns is going to smash Brock Lesnar. This was fantastic. Absolutely love I don't even know, like the creativity in this promo is very visual. I can see everything that he was saying. I thought this was really strong and it didn't overstay its welcome. This brings out Brock Lesnar though. Brock Lesnar, full on flannel, big lumberjack outfit. I'm not a fan of this. I'm still gonna die on this hill. I don't like his outfit, but that's fine. He gets in the ring. It's a big fight feel. This feels huge. Roman throws the first punch, but he gets taken to Suplex City. The Usos come out to try to make the save, but they get smashed by Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar then tells Roman to get back in the ring. Roman looks like he's going to do it, but of course he doesn't. So in response, Brock Lesnar gives some F5s to the Usos, which, woo, that looked fun. It was good opening segment here. I like that the draft kind of feeding into Roman's ego, and it's even going to play further into this whole bloodline storyline. We're going to talk about that later because this could be a huge development in the story. So very excited for that. Following this, we have a Charlotte Flair interview, the latest SmackDown edition. It was kind of just real quick. She just says that she's the queen and that Fox knows who the real face of WWE is. And so, short and sweet. Her outfit was nice. I like the big bedazzling. From there, I don't know. This might be the worst segment of the night. We have Happy Corbin versus Kevin Owens in a match. They actually have a match here. Before the match starts, Corbin introduces Riddick Moss as MadCap Moss. Tells MadCap to tell a joke. And Moss just says, joke. And then they both laugh. It's really bad. If I wasn't wearing earphones listening to this, I'd be really embarrassed if someone saw me watching this. And this is going to go on as well. So during the match, Corbin has control. He gets like kind of beat up at the beginning, but I guess MadCap Moss distracts Owens. This allows Corbin to take control. He hits a deep 6 for 2, which I was pretty surprised it happened so fast. Owens then counters Corbin's like baseball slide out of the ring where he slides around the ring post, comes back in the ring, looks for that clothesline. He counters that with a super kick and a cannonball for 2. Moss then distracts Owens again. Corbin gets an end of days on the outside of the ring, which he kind of just like scooped him up. It's not the normal like or like the rope rebound one where they're kind of in motion. He had to just scoop up Owens and hit him with it. Gets him back in the ring, gives him another end of days, and that's it. We have a 1-2-3. Happy Corbin wins here. Like I said, really deflating match because it didn't have any heat like it should. This whole gimmick of Moss like laughing on the outside was terrible. And then during the celebration, all they do is like laugh. They just laugh hysterically. Oh, so big, over the top laughter. It was bad. Like I said, if someone was watching me watch this, I'd be embarrassed. I'd be embarrassed to have that on my TV, which is really sad because I said on the original, on Rick Moss's re-debut, I said that I'd be really into this if they actually did something with depth and character, and they're not. They're doing the most flat, just one-dimensional thing, and that's just laughing, and I'm pretty sure it's going to keep up like this, but who knows? It could switch around. The way I would have liked to have seen that promo introducing MadCap Moss, which I would not have named him, but let's say we keep the name, I would have liked for it to be a more serious interview with Riddick explaining how maybe Corbin had bought him out of his Raw contract and like saved him from obscurity of the 24/7 division, or you can't be that specific, but at least say that he gave him direction. And then we have, okay, there's trust between these two people. They have an established motive, and like there's something there. There's a relationship. Because right now it's just, he's a funny guy and I'm gonna laugh at him. Like, it's not good at all. Something that is really good though, King of the Ring and Queen of the Ring tournaments are announced. They said it will be starting on the season finale of SmackDown, and I don't know when that is, so I'll keep y'all updated when that's like made official, the date. But man, I'm excited for this. I love tournaments. Everyone should love tournaments, and the King and Queen of the Ring tournaments is fantastic ideas. I hope they wrap up at Survivor Series. I hope that's the plan. Like, they have the two blow-off matches at Survivor Series, so that way it gives them even a more legit feel, because it is going to be a brand, I'm guessing, brand versus brand tournament. But my early picks, of course, for King of the Ring is Xavier Woods. He has to win King of the Ring, right? Like, they have to know he has to win this. This is his thing. Kofi Mania, Big E had the World Heavyweight Championship now. Give us Xavier Woods as king. And my early prediction for the Queen of the Ring is a little bit tougher. I saw a lot of people saying Liv Morgan. They were throwing that out there. Personally, I would like to see Naomi or Bayley win it. They normally like to do like a heel face, so that way it's kind of equals out. I really think Bayley could do something really interesting with this, and it could lead to a feud with Charlotte, which would always be good. So from there, though, we had the round 2 of the WWE Draft. This was no surprise to many. I don't necessarily hate on this. I don't know. I guess, okay, we got 3 weeks to finish out storyline. So Drew McIntyre is on SmackDown now, which I'm fine with. I think he's going to be a great match with Roman. It just seems like he needs to find something to do, because he's going to get smashed by Roman. He's going to get smashed and acknowledge that tribal chief. So he needs to find something to do after that. And the way SmackDown is right now, I just don't know where that's going to be. But you never know. It could be great. It could be great. And the other thing that I had with this is that he just basically challenged Big E for the WWE Championship last week on Raw. So don't know where that's going to go. Maybe it'll end up on Crown Royal. Who knows? Man, but now that I'm thinking about it, Drew McIntyre and Shinsuke Nakamura would be a really good match, right? Never mind. Let's not get excited, guys. All right. RK Bro are staying on Raw. Smart move. They have the Raw Tag Team Championships, so they'll be staying. The New Day, which is just Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods, are coming to SmackDown, leaving Big E behind. This made me sad. I'm not gonna lie. This made me sad. We just got to see them reunite. I get it. I get that, they've been separated for like a year and a half. But man, just give us them back. Just let them be together. Let us have good things. But with the way the tag division is, and we're going to see that in a little bit here with that 8-man tag, they are a fun addition to this tag division. And I think we're going to see something happen with the Bloodline later on as well. So that could be foreshadowing this like switch up. I don't know. We'll see. Next, we have Edge to Monday Night Raw. I think that's a great move. I want to see him tear it up with AJ Styles. I want to see him tear it up with Matt Riddle. I think they can pick up on the RK Bro stuff. I want to see him in that ring with Bobby Lashley. I want to see him in the ring. There's just a lot of matches that I want him to have, and I think Raw is the perfect place for him to do that. Following that, we have a Drew McIntyre interview. He gets asked about the move to SmackDown and where he has his eyes set. McIntyre has a really good bit here talking about how he got his start on SmackDown as the chosen one, and he's always felt there was unfinished business with that side of himself. And I really like that motivation. I think that's fantastic to draw back on that, and he does it so well, and he's so charismatic, guys. Like, he's so good. I like it. Anyways, he then challenges Roman Reigns by pointing his sword at the camera. It was a really awkward angle, but Yeah, he wants to stab Roman Reigns, which might be the only way he can beat Roman Reigns at this point. Following that, we get an Edge promo. He comes down the ring. Baltimore absolutely loves Edge, and he deserved every bit of that. And he acknowledges them. He gives them their due, says thank you for that reaction. But he says that he's one of the last, he is the last of the original SmackDown roster, which I did not realize. That made me kind of sad. Because, yeah, Rey Mysterio is the second to last, I guess, but no, Edge is the last one. He says that he's excited about the move to Raw, but he's not 100% cleared yet. He tells Seth to get out here so he can extract those words he wants to hear out of his face. That brings Rollins onto the Tron. He is clearly not in the arena. He says that you aren't saying what you're supposed to say. And he's at Edge's house. He didn't believe that Edge would be at SmackDown, so he bought a plane ticket. He's in Canada. He's at Edge's house, waiting outside the door. Before we even get into what goes on here, I really liked Seth Rollins' delivery of this whole bit. This is the most Joker madman that he's been, and it feels unique. It feels fresh. I really enjoy this. And I know that WWE loves to do the home invasion angle, but I think this one was done differently. I will say the only thing I didn't like about this one is we didn't get the climax. I guess the climax could be that he's breaking into the house, but there wasn't much of a climax towards it. So let's just discuss this real quick. So he's in Edge's house. The door is unlocked. He knocks on it a couple times and then just realizes it's unlocked. So he walks in. I don't blame him. He walks in. He's calling for Beth. Beth is not there, apparently. McAfee, what a great call. He's doing a crib episode at Edge's house. Seth then raids the fridge like he's the Grinch. He takes an apple and some OJ, sits at their dining room table, looks to his left, and there's Edge's daughter's artwork up there. He says it's pretty bad, and I don't disagree. I mean, how old are they? They should be better than that, to be honest. Also, Edge's dog is just in the background, just chilling on his bed. Doesn't care. Big old gray husky. Absolutely doesn't care. That is his new dad now. He gets up, sees the backpacks of the kids. He goes into like their fireplace room. He chillaxes on their couch. It looks like he's just gonna take a nap. Like, I think he's just tired. That was a long flight, Just let him take a nap. We cut back to the arena. Edge is calling Beth and trying to tell her not to go to the house. She says, well, we can't hear what she says, but I guess she was grocery shopping because he says, forget about the groceries. Just go to your brother's house. Go to your brother's house. I already called Daniel and David. They're going to go get Seth. And Pat has a great call again. He's like, call Daniel and David. Call the cops. I loved it. Finally, some logic there. But yeah, that's the last we see of them for tonight. And I was really expecting later on, and maybe in the second hour, we would get some kind of payoff of like Seth either getting arrested or something. I don't know. Something to let us know that Seth's not sleeping at their house. But following that, we get the second worst segment of the night. This is only the second worst because it was short. We have Carmella versus Liv Morgan that ends in no contest. Once again, they don't even get the bell rung. They get in each other's face and trash talk. Liv Morgan smacks Mella right in the face. Mella goes to the outside, gets a mic, says, well, she calls Liv a very rude word that I'm not going to repeat here, but it starts with a B. Then she also tells her like hairdressers to put on the mask. And so she puts on this silicone bedazzled mask that's like really form-fitting. I don't hate it per se, but I do hate how it was introduced. And then she goes in, hits super kick, hits a X Factor. I always call it an X Factor. I don't remember what it's called. She does that move. Says her finish on Liv, and then it's announced that the match was never started. So then Mella's music just plays and she leaves. Just not a good segment again, unfortunately. And these two women have already shown that they can tear it up. So why not just let them tear it up again? Just give us a rematch at that point. Don't do this. Don't do this at all. I would have preferred Mella to have a rematch, a full rematch, and then towards the finish, she gets the mask on. And then, I don't know, gets the win that way. I don't know. Something else, though. Not this. From there, we have the round 3 results. Sonya and Pierce come back to the stage. They announce that Happy Corbin and MadCap Moss are here to stay on SmackDown. How can we put a bet in the comments how long Happy Corbin and MadCap Moss will last? I don't think they're gonna last till the next draft. It seems like him and his henchman relationships never last that long. But anyways, Rhea Ripley and Nikki A.S.H stay on Raw, which at first I thought was a little weird because technically the titles are, across brands. But I guess in case they do lose those titles, both of those women will be part of the Raw roster still. Then we have Hit Row to SmackDown. That is a great move. This is going to be, first of all, I was begging for the draft to save as many good acts from NXT as they could. And this is a good start right here. This is a fantastic start because I love Hit Row. I think they do need a little bit of developing, but I think they can do it on the main roster. And Swerve Scott is already one of the best wrestlers in the entire company. So just put him in there, let him do his thing, and I'll be happy. And Keith Bearcat Lee is staying on Raw. I really am enjoying every time I hear Bearcat Lee, I do like it more. So I think it's gonna be sticking with me because I don't like the name Keith. I never have, never will. But Bearcat Lee rolls off the tongue really well. I enjoy it. And he'll be on Raw, hopefully in a more high profile spot than he is now. The one saving grace is we did not hear Karrion Kross's name brought up tonight, and I'm so glad for that. Following that, though, we have an 8-man tag match, The New Day, Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods, with the Street Profits, Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins, taking on the Alpha Academy, Otis and Chad Gable, with the Dirty Dogs, Dolph Ziggler and Bobby Roode. This was a pretty fun match. This was a pretty good match. Chad Gable really got some time to shine, and I love Chad Gable. And this match reminded me just how much I miss him. So Kofi and Ziggler start things off, and Kofi gets like a nice elbow. He brings Ziggler into the corner and does like the whole arm wind, tags in Woods. Woods hits an axe handle onto the arm from the middle rope. Woods then immediately tags in Montez. Montez does the same thing, but then he gets hit right in the ribs and loses the advantage kind of quick because he's sporting that rib tape from when Roman whooped him, smashed him through a table. So everyone starts to target his ribs, everyone that gets tagged in. Chad Gable comes in looking impressive, immaculate, best gear of the night in my opinion. Him and Otis had like just singlets that remind you of a good old-fashioned Kurt Angle singlet, and like little splatters of red, blue, and yellow, kind of like how my screen here is kind of signaling that this is the draft. You know what I mean? I like the color coordination for the episode. So yeah, he's hitting some great moves. Montez looks to come back. He just smacks, backhand slaps to everyone. He slaps Ziggler, Dolph, he slaps Otis. It was fantastic. I really marked out for that moment. Montez looks to be on the comeback. He tries to do either like a blockbuster from the apron to the inside, so he springboards, but Gable catches him in midair and hits a bridging Northern Lights suplex. Mwah! And Michael Cole marked out for that moment, which I always enjoy when the commentators are surprised by what someone's doing in the ring. And that was a good moment for them. Montez comes back a little bit, hits another big backhand slap to Ziggler, and that one was loud. He gets Dawkins in with the hot tag. Dawkins has a little bit of run. He hits a huge exploder onto Gable, and then a double underhook neck breaker to Roode. It was really cool to see that. Montez then gets a plancha to the outside to Otis, but then Ziggler floors him with a super kick. Kofi then dives off the steps onto Ziggler, taking them out. Dawkins in the ring, looks to get caught up in a glorious DDT, but switches out of that, hits a big right hand, looked great. Then he tags in I think he tags in Kofi, who tags in Xavier. We get a midnight hour for the New Day win. Just a really fun match and really showcases like the tag division as it is. And it might change on Monday, but this was just fun. Those are all solid wrestlers in there, every single one of them. Everyone carried their weight to perfection, and Chad Gable especially had a great showing, and it was a good showing for Alpha Academy in general, so it might serve to introduce them again in this new landscape, or maybe introduce them for when they get moved to Raw, which could happen. I wouldn't mind seeing that either, because you got the Viking Raiders over there, and those guys can tear it up. I mean, for real. Anyways, though, we had the last round of the draft. as Naomi is staying on SmackDown. Sonya, perfect delivery on this. She looks at the card, she puts it down, she goes, of course, Naomi. And then, we get the graphic. It was a good little moment there. Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio are drafted to Raw, which I said my piece on the predictions that I really think that Dominic and Rey should have been split up here in the draft to avoid a Dominic heel turn and just, let them reunite later on and have Rey show how proud he is of his son. But, I understand real life, they have to travel together if they're on the same brand. They probably don't want to be split up because then they won't travel together. So I could see real life bleeding into that. But just for my story, like what I would have wanted to see, that's a little bit disappointing. But I'm sure it's going to be a good outcome. I kind of don't know if that means Sami Zayn's going to be drafted to Raw as well. We'll see how that's going to go. Fan favorite, Jeff Hardy is drafted to SmackDown. That's going to be fun to see him interact with people like Apollo Crews, Shinsuke Nakamura. It's going to be a great addition to the intercontinental scene, even the tag scene if he, I don't know. Maybe he hooks up with somebody, I guess. But this one, pick of the night, a little disappointing, but I have high hopes that they're going to do this man right. Austin Theory is heading to Raw. I wanted the Way to be drafted together because I love the Way and I want them to be on my screens. And I don't watch NXT 2.0, so it's a little unfortunate. And it kind of signals that this is the end of the Way as the Way was. But I think he's going to do a great job. If they let him show that character that he had in NXT, I think he's going to be a huge star. He could be, I honestly believe this guy could be like another Kurt Angle, not Brock Lesnar, but you know what I mean? Just a big star. I can see him main eventing WrestleMania one day. From there, we have what's supposed to be a Jeff Hardy interview, but as soon as he walks on screen, Brock Lesnar tells him to F off and takes the mic and tells the interviewer to leave. So he looks us right in the face, tells us he has a public service announcement to make, that he is a free agent because of his buddy, Paul Heyman, because they're such good friends. We cut to a Bloodline segment, and this could be the turning point in the storyline. This could be a huge revelation here. Roman sitting on his nice comfy throne, Heyman on his right or left, behind him. Roman presses him about, oh, are you guys good friends, huh? I thought we were good friends. And Heyman, I don't know what they're talking about, blah blah blah. So Heyman says that Roman asks him why the Usos weren't drafted tonight to SmackDown. Heyman says that the Uso deal is going on. There's still negotiation. I'm the wise man. I have a plan. I'm the wise man. And Roman shouts, and it's scary. Full on erupts on him. You're the wise man. Oh, boy. And Heyman's crying at this point. And I'm talking real tears. I don't know what he was thinking about. His dog dying, his grandma gone or something. But Heyman was crying in this. He tells Heyman to go to Raw and make sure the Usos stay on SmackDown. Heyman does. He leaves the room as he tells him to, and then Roman looks to the Usos and he says, "You follow him to Raw and ensure that happens, or else leave Heyman for dead." So, is this the beginning of a bloodline split here, guys? Oh, I don't know. Paul Heyman said that there was going to be twists and turns in this story that we couldn't predict. And the way it's looking right now, so the most predictable track that I see right now is the Usos getting drafted to Raw and that breaking up Heyman from the bloodline, and it kind of leaves Roman on his own island on SmackDown. So it definitively breaks up the bloodline for a while. I don't know if that's the move they're gonna go with though. To me, that's the most predictable route. I just don't know how else they can get out of it. It kind of seems like they booked themselves into that, and I'm expecting to see that exact scenario happen on Monday. So it's going to be interesting, but I would love to hear y'all's thoughts. Where do you guys think this is going? Are we going to see a bloodline split up already? Let me know down in the comments. But anyways, guys, main event time, WrestleMania rematch, Bianca Belair versus Sasha Banks with Becky Lynch on commentary. This was a fantastic match. I didn't take much notes because I was trying to listen to both Becky and watch the match, and it was really hard to do because both were really good stuff. But Bianca is in control early, and she absolutely like steamrolls Banks to the outside at one point. Just runs her right over. Banks looks to make a comeback. She has the top rope meteor for 2, which will look smooth as always. Bianca turns things around with a huge glam slam, which I really loved Sasha's sell on it, her facials. At this point, Becky and Michael Cole are just bickering. Cole keeps telling her, why are you so worried? Why are you so nervous about this triple threat? Why do you think, Cole? Why do you think? And Becky finally explodes on him, just starts berating Cole. Says, like, you think I don't know about triple threats? I won the title. I was Becky 2 belts because of a triple threat. Just completely going off on Cole, which I really enjoyed. Back in the ring, Bianca hits a handspring moonsault onto Banks. Becky at this point says that she knocked down the door for Bianca to be able to achieve all that she has, and that all Bianca has done is just walk through that gaping hole that she left. At this point, Banks hits a big tornado DDT and a nice frog splash for 2. Bianca looks to hit the KOD on the apron, which, oh my god, if they ever actually do that, I really hope they don't. But Banks escapes with a nice knee, like a knee up. I don't know what it's called, an up knee. She just hits her with her knee. She goes for like a sunset flip, but Bianca moonsaults out of that. But that kind of bumps her into Becky, who Becky oversold there. She was not that close to you. So Becky gets in Bianca's face. They're barking at each other. Banks gets back in the ring, so Bianca looks to follow her, but Becky leans on Bianca's hair so it doesn't allow her to really move. And so she's trying to get her hair undone and gets rolled up by Sasha with a nice just bridging roll up there. So WrestleMania rematch ends in a roll up. I enjoyed the finish. I enjoyed all the character work that Becky was putting in on the mic. It really has solidified her as the heel in this storyline. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. And then when she was pressed about, this triple threat coming up at Crown Royal between herself, Banks, and Bianca, she showed a little bit of fear, like these are top contenders for the title. She really legitimized everyone. Y'all, I'm going to keep saying that word until I can learn it. I'm not going to learn it, though, I don't think. But you know what I mean. She made everyone feel like a legit threat. But following the match, quickly, because we're about to run out of time, Charlotte attacks both Banks and Bianca, hits that nice boot on both women. And we get a stand tall with Charlotte holding her Raw Women's Championship in the ring, and Becky holding the SmackDown Women's Championship on top of the announce table to close the show. And boy, oh boy, was this a show. There is a lot of unknowns going on here. That's why I always love the draft. You never really know where they're going with these stories. And now that they've kind of given themselves a window to finish out any lingering stories, I think we're going to see some doors open, some doors close. I'm really just excited for this shakeup. I think they made a lot of good calls. The one I'm most worried about is this whole Charlotte and Becky being on the same brand. I don't want them to keep treading that ground too often. I know it's been a couple of years since WrestleMania 35 and the whole Becky 2 belts movement, but I don't know. And I mean, again, Becky's a whole different character now, and so is Charlotte. So I think that this could really be magical. It just needs the right circumstances, and I have faith. I have faith that they're going to be able to pull this off pretty well. And if nothing else, we're going to get some great matches. We're going to get some great matches in the ring. But yeah, overall, let's talk Spot of the Night tonight, y'all. Spot of the Night. I think the Spot of the Night was just Montez Ford backhand slapping everyone. I can't say the words I was going to say, but you can look on Twitter. I said it on there, what I called this slap. It was a good slap. I enjoyed the slaps. I thought it was funny. It made me pop. And Montez is over, boy. Montez is over. So yeah, Spot of the Night, Montez. Overall, let's give this an overall out of 5 stars. I give this a solid 3.5 stars. I was very excited. I thought that they did a great job with how they actually paced the draft picks this time around. having the 4 rounds, having the rules to be explained so there's like a little bit less confusion, even though it's not really that clear anyway. So yeah, I thought it was a pretty solid episode of Friday Night SmackDown. And with that being said, you guys, I would love to know, who do you guys see being drafted on Monday Night Raw? Do you guys see the bloodline split coming? I kind of do, guys. So let me know what you guys think about that in the comments. Make sure, if you got this far, man, if you're not leaving a like, you're kind of weird. If you got this far and you're not leaving a like, you're weird. So leave a like to not be weird, and make sure to subscribe, follow the channel, and without any further ado, goodbye.